Thank you. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's the general idea. Vicky. Oh, 963. 9, 6 and 3 on the 1st of October. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I only have one child, so this is it.
That's Auntie Eleanor's candle that she plays at temple. No parts.
Ready? Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
Oh my gosh, it's so good to see everybody. It's amazing. We are so glad everybody's here. The first thing we want you to do is look around to the people around you and make sure you know everybody. Say hello, tell them who you are, wish them Shana Tova.
All right, we're now going to get a chance to wish everybody Shana Tova. And what a better way to do that than with the song. Shana Tova, Shana Tova, Shana Tova to everyone. Shana Tova, Shana Tova, Shana Tova to everyone. And that's the whole thing. Can we try that all together? Let's all sing that. Ready? Here we go. Shana Tova, Shana Tova, Shana Tova to everyone. Shana Tova, Shana Tova, Shana Tova to everyone. All right, I'm going to say Shana Tova to some of you. And if it's you that I'm saying Shana Tova to, then you're going to yell out Shana Tova. Let's try it. Ready? Shana Tova. Oh, we can do better than that. Let's try that again. Ready? Echad, shtayim, shalosh. Shana Tova. That's more like it. All right, let's try it. Ready? Oh. Shana Tova to everyone.
Tova.
Shana Tova to everyone who loves to play games.
Shana Tova.
Shana Tova to everybody who loves to play outside.
Tova.
Shana Tova to everybody who loves to sing.
Shana Tova.
All right, let's do it. Let's sing. Here we go. Shana Tova, Shana Tova, Shana Tova to everyone. Shana Tova, Shana Tova, Shana Tova to everyone. Shana Tova to everybody who has a big brother or a big sister. Shana Tova to everyone who has a little brother or a little sister.
Shana Tova.
Shana Tova to everybody who is a mommy or a daddy.
Shana Tova.
And Shana Tova to everybody who's a grandma or a grandpa. Let's sing. Shana Tova, Shana Tova, Shana Tova to everyone. Shana Tova, Shana Tova, Shana Tova to everyone. Beautiful.
Very nice. So unfortunately, because of technical problems, that's the only screen we can show you things on. So you'll just all have to look that way when it's time for prayers. But if you already know stuff, you just get up and sing along anyway. But we are going to rise for Baruchu. Prayer helps us say thank you to God. Let's read together on the screen. If you don't know how yet, Mom or Daddy can help. When we pray, we think about our lives. People can make a difference. One me, one you, caring for each other. One mitzvah helps us do more mitzvot. One Torah to study. One God.
Shema Yisrael.
We're going to copy the cantor. Now it's our turn. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem Kivon Malchuto Le'olam Aved.
Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Vaed.
Rabbi, is that the same tune that we normally hear during
It
the
is
year?
not.
Doesn't
Good
that sound a
call.
little bit
Good
different?
catch, Cantor. Yeah, there's a lot of tunes that are different for the high holidays, and that is one of them. So listen carefully. You may hear a few more as we go. Everybody, please have a seat. Torah teaches us about God. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha. Torah teaches us to love God. Torah teaches us to think about God, and we can read together. We think about God when we get up. We think about God when we go to school. We think about God when we play. We think about God when we go to bed. We think about God. We remember when we were slaves in Egypt.
We remember when the Egyptians forced us to work from sunrise to sunset.
We remember when our bellies growled because there was no food to eat.
We remember when all we wanted was a cool drink of water.
We remember when we had no warm blankets and shivered in the night.
We remember crossing into safety and breathing the air of freedom.
We remember dancing with joy and singing our song of thanks. And because we remember, we promise this day to feed the hungry, to bring water to the thirsty, to give clothes to the needy, and to reach out our hands and bring the whole world into our freedom dance. Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur are days for asking important questions and praying for answers. Who can be like you, O God? Will the new year be a happy one for all people? We're getting ready for a very special prayer called Avinu Malkeinu. Can you say that? Avinu Malkeinu. Like a mother, like a father, God acts in special ways. Avinu Malkeinu. God helped Jews who lived long ago. Avinu Malkeinu. God, hear our prayers today. Avinu Malkeinu. God helps us to make tomorrow safe. Avinu Malkeinu. Like a mother, like a father, God acts in special ways. Now I have a question. How many of you dressed up a little bit for today's service? Yeah, Scarlett has a beautiful green dress on. Everybody dressed up a little bit. Kendra and I dress up in a way that we only do at the high holidays, in white robes. Okay, and you know who else dresses differently for the high holidays? What's in the ark there? What are the Torah scrolls usually dressed in? Colorful outfits, right? Well, today, we're going to rise so you can see. They dress a little like we do. Everybody please rise, because we're going to sing the prayer together. Are you ready to see? What are the Torahs wearing? White. They wear white on the high holidays just like we do. And we're going to sing together, Avinu Malkeinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Hanenu Malkeinu.
be seated. We're going to take a moment now for silent prayer, because sometimes the prayers that you feel in your heart are not quite the same ones as in the book or on the screen. Okay? And while we're praying silently, it's probably a good idea to think about some ways that you could do things better next year, because that's kind of what we start to do on Rosh Hashanah. That's pretty good. Okay, we're going to come out of silent prayer with a song about shalom, about peace.
Say shalom bimrama, say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Oh, say shalom bimrama, say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Say shalom, say shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Say shalom, say shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Say shalom, say shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Say shalom, say shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Say shalom, say shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael.
You'll never guess what time it is.
What time?
It's story time.
Yay!
Here's Julie.
In a town a lot like ours. Hi. It's so good to see you. In a town a lot like ours, in a synagogue a lot like ours, there was a girl a lot like us. And her name was Sarah. And Sarah loved to go to services. She loved hearing the music. She loved seeing all her synagogue friends. And she loved getting a chance to talk to God. But Sarah had a problem. You see, Sarah didn't know how to read Hebrew. She couldn't recognize the letters, and she didn't know what all those dots and lines underneath the letters meant. And so she couldn't sing the words that people were singing, and she couldn't say the words that people were praying. And this made Sarah really sad. And she thought to herself, there are words to God I want to say. I need to learn how to pray. So Sarah decided to go on a mission to learn how to pray. So she started with her father. And she said, Dad, can we go on a trip? And he thought that it was a great idea because he loved having some father-daughter bonding time. So they went on a trip. They went across Canada to British Columbia where the Rocky Mountains are. And they got on their best hiking shoes and they hiked all the way to the top of the mountain. And the top of the mountain, they looked around and it was the most gorgeous view they had ever seen. And Sarah thought, wow, here I'm really going to figure out how to pray. But then it started to rain. And it rained so hard her clothes got soaked through. And Sarah was wet and cold and miserable. And she thought, this is not going to work. I need a new idea. There are words to God I want to say. I need to learn how to pray. So she thought, okay, being at the top of the mountain made her miserable. Maybe she needed to go someplace really fun. So she went to her mother and asked her mother if they could go to a hockey game. And her mother thought that was a great idea. So they got tickets and they went down to the Air Canada Centre, which I think is now called the Scotiabank Arena, but in my mind, it's always going to be the Air Canada Centre. So if you're okay with that, we're just going to go with that. So they went down to the Air Canada Centre and they saw the Leafs play. And the atmosphere in the arena was amazing. The players on the ice were playing this game that they loved, and the fans were cheering on their favorite team. But Sarah had a problem. It was so loud in the ACC that she couldn't think. And she wasn't thinking about God. She was focusing on the game happening on the ice in front of her. So Sarah thought, this is not going to work. I need a new idea. There are words to God I want to say. I need to learn how to. You got it. So Sarah thought, okay, ACC was too noisy. Maybe we need someplace quieter. What's the quietest place around? And she thought, underwater. It's really quiet. So she went to her brother, because her brother loved swimming as much as she did. And she asked her brother if they could go snorkeling. And he thought that was a great idea. So they got in the car and they drove all the way out to the ocean, and they put on their flippers so that they could swim, and they put on their goggles so that they could see underwater, and they put on that tube in their mouth that helps them breathe, and they went snorkeling. And under the water, there were so many fish of all different colors and all different kinds of plants, and it was amazing. And it was definitely really, really quiet. But Sarah had a problem. Because with that tube in her mouth, she couldn't talk. And she needed her hands and her feet for swimming, and so she couldn't use her hands to express herself. And we all know that you need your hands to talk, right? So she thought, okay, this is not going to work. I need a new idea. There are words to God I want to say. Say it with me. I need to learn how to pray. So she thought, okay, maybe I need something where I can use my hands. And she thought about all the artwork that she had seen, all these beautiful paintings. And so she went to her sister, because her sister is an amazing painter. And she asked her sister if she could teach her how to paint. And her sister thought that was a great idea. So they pulled out all different color paints and paintbrushes and easels and canvases, and they started painting together. But Sarah had a problem. She wanted to paint with purple, so she took some red and she took some blue and she mixed them together, but it came out looking kind of brown. And she wanted to paint a person, but it came out looking kind of like a clown. And she realized that what she's painting, what she's producing on this canvas is not what she wants to say. So she thought, okay, this is not going to work. I need a new idea. There are words to God I want to say. I need to learn how to pray. So Sarah realized that the trouble with painting is that she was not as talented a painter as her sister. So she thought, okay, what am I really good at? What is it that when I put my whole heart and soul into it, something beautiful comes out? And she realized, I'm a musician. When I play an instrument and I put everything into it, something beautiful comes out, something that really feels like me. And she realized that was how she could talk to God. She could talk to God through her music. So she tried to pick an instrument that was going to work. She tried a tuba, that great big brass instrument that has a really, really deep sound. But that didn't feel right. And she tried a xylophone, that percussion instrument with those metal keys, and you hit them with a stick and it makes a ting, 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 ting sound. But that didn't feel right either. And then she realized Rosh Hashanah is coming up. And on Rosh Hashanah, there's an instrument that we play that helps us say, I'm sorry, and it helps us think about all the ways that we can do better next year. And what's that instrument? The shofar, of course, that's right. So she asked around the people at her synagogue and found somebody who could lend her a shofar. And she practiced constantly. She practiced in the morning when she woke up, and she practiced in the afternoon when she got home from school, and she practiced in the evening before she went to bed, and soon she was an amazing shofar player. Pretty soon, Rosh Hashanah came up, and she went with her family to the synagogue for services. And she brought her shofar with her to services. But pretty soon, she started to get frustrated because once again, people were singing songs that she couldn't sing, and they were saying words that she couldn't pray. And soon it was time for the Shema, and everybody stood up, and they covered their eyes, and they said the words really quietly. And Sarah really wanted to be a part of that moment. So she pulled out her shofar, and she let out a really big blast. And everybody all around the sanctuary went, and they got so upset at her. They said, Sarah, how can you play a shofar at this moment? This is a Rosh Hashanah service. It's a serious time. But the rabbi came down from the bima and said, hold on. We all say the words that are in the Machzor, our high holiday prayer book. And some of us think about the words that we're saying and feel the words that we're saying, and some of us don't. But Sarah's prayer is so amazing because we know that it comes from her heart. Shana Tova.
Wow. That was a great story, Julie. Thank you. Which reminds me, we're at that part of the service. And we're going to blow the shofar. Shofar sounds remind us to listen to the words of people we love. Shofar sounds tell us it's time to pray. Shofar sounds help us pay attention to the important lessons in Torah. We hear the shofar on Rosh Hashanah, and we have a song to kind of warm us up here.
We sure do. We have a song that's going to help us learn all the different sounds that we can make on the shofar. So let's start with the chorus. It goes like this. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Happy, happy, happy New Year. Let's do it again all together. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Happy, happy, happy New Year. All right, here's the best part of the song. Here's where we all get to be shofars. We're all going to make that really big shofar sound. So let's try it. Everybody get out your shofar and repeat after me. Tekiah, your turn. Tekiah. All right, let's sing. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Happy, happy, happy New Year. All right, here's the next sound. It goes like this. Shavarim, your turn. Shavarim. Tekiah.
Tekiah.
Let's sing. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Happy, happy, happy New Year. Teruah, Teruah, Shavarim, Shavarim, Tekiah, Tekiah. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Happy, happy, happy New Year. Okay, here's the really, really long one. The Tekiah Gedolah. Everybody take a big deep breath. Okay. אחד, שתיים, שלוש. תקיעה גדולה. Teruah, Teruah, Shavarim, Shavarim, Tekiah, Tekiah. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Happy, happy, happy New Year. One more time. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Happy, happy, happy New Year. Awesome.
And when we get ready to hear the shofar, we start with a blessing. Because a lot of mitzvot, a lot of commandments that we do start with a blessing, so we remember to thank God for that commandment. So we're going to start with the shofar blessing, and then we're going to hear the shofar.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lishmoa kol shofar.
Amen. Let's read the English together. Blessed is the eternal our God, ruler of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot and calls us to hear the sound of the shofar. And when we blow shofar, we rise, we stand.
Tekiah Shavarim Teruah Tekiah.
Please be seated. We haven't gotten to the big one yet. It's coming. It's coming. Rosh Hashanah is the birthday of the world. As the world grows older, we grow older too. As we grow older, we will try to make the world better. Let's read these together. We will try to protect animals. We will try to plant flowers. We will try to care for the place in which we live. We will try to make the world quiet and peaceful. Oh God, help us be happier today than yesterday. Oh God, help me act more bravely tomorrow than I acted today. Oh God, help me tell others about the shofar. We hear the shofar sound on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Listen to the sounds of the shofar. We don't need to re-bless, I don't think, but we're going to stand up again as we get ready to conclude our service. Before we sing the last song, I'll just talk about the cupcakes. All right, we ready? Okay.
Tekiah Shavarim Teruah Tekiah Gedolah.
Okay, I may turn red. It's okay. Don't worry. Everyone, please be seated. And before we conclude our service, whose birthday is it today? On Rosh Hashanah? It's the world's birthday. And when somebody has a birthday, what do we serve?
Cake or
Birthday
cupcakes?
cake. So, after we sing our last song, And thank you, Julie. Thank you, Cantor. Thank you, Elle. Thank you, Sharon, for ushering. Thank you, Wayne, for running sound. Thank you, everybody, for coming. We are so glad you're here. If you are interested in our Beit Midrash in our religious school, we'd love to have you. If you want to try it out, we have a program called Explore 4, where you can just come 4 times and check it out. So, how many of you are in our Beit Midrash? In our religious school? It's good, isn't it? It's good. All right. So, as soon as we conclude with our last song, we're going to head out to the patio, and there's going to be some cupcakes for everybody. And, yay, hooray. Okay, and we're...
It's just Lashana Tova.
Huh?
It's just
Yeah.
Lashana Tova. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Just Lashana Tova.
Lishana Tova Tikatevun, 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 Lishana Tova Tikatevun.
Okay. Kendra and I are going to lead you out. Normally, we would stand at the door and make everybody shake hands for the new year, but I think we're going to avoid that this year because we still have another day tomorrow.
Yeah,
we
and Yom Kippur next week.
Yeah, we'll give a Shana Tova to each other. How's that? Okay, everybody can follow out. Let's have some cupcakes. Kids first, please. Let all the kids get cupcakes. Yeah, kids first to eat. Then we'll see what's left.